Good morning. So we are continuing with the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we had completed verse 3, chapter 3 of Canto 1. So today we are going to do a new chapter. This is called the appearance of Sri Narada. So Narada's appearance in this world. Now as you know, in the first, prior to this, we discussed why this scripture is so important. The reason for it being important it is because it is the Lord himself. So in this chapter we will get further explanation as to why this scripture is so important. So now let us continue with chapter 4. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1 chapter 4, the appearance of Sri Narada. Verse 1, on hearing, Sutta spoke thus. Shaunaka, who was the elderly, learned leader among all rishis, engaged in the prolonged sacrificial ceremony, congratulated Sutta by addressing him as follows. We will do the verse 2. Shaunaka said, O Sutta, you are the most fortunate and respected of all those who speak and recite. Please relate the pious message of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by the great and the powerful sage Sukhdev. In what period and at what place was this first begun, and why was this taken up? From where did Krishna, Dvaipayana, Vyasa, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile this literature? Verse 4. His son was a great devotee, an equibalanced monist whose mind was always concentrated in God. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. Now, we are beginning a new chapter today. So this chapter is about the son of Brahmaji, whose name was Narada. Now, before we begin this, we have to get the context very clear. Now, there is Sutta. Sutta is giving the story to a lot of people in front of him. The primary one over there is called Shaunak. So Shaunak Rishi is there. He is asking Sutta, can you please explain to us what transpired between Sukhdev and Parikshit? Remember that Sukhdev is the son of Vyasa Muni. Vyasa Muni is the first avatar of Sri Krishna. That is why his name was Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. So Vyasdev is the first avatar which came into existence. Now in this we saw that it is mentioned very clearly. If you see what are they saying over here, you can speak and recite. So when you say speak and recite, so there was nothing physically written down anywhere. So please understand this, nothing is written down because there was no scripture in existence which could be the written type. People would speak to each other, so there was a language with which they could talk to each other. So communication was done in a particular language. Now, when this communication was done to each other, it is believed that it was done in Sanskrit. Alright? Actually, we don't have much understanding of this subject. So, Shaunaka Rishi is asking Sutta, can you please explain how this thing came about? And the doubts are very much there. Shaunak Rishi and his group around him have those doubts. Think about it. Today we are sitting in the 21st century. Hmm? And there is something which happened in the 19th century. How do you know what happened in the 19th century? There is no way of knowing it, isn't it? Because there was no way of knowing what happened in the previous era, either you will find some kind of a scripture, some form of, like say for example, many years ago there were cuneiform tablets. Tablets means a stone on which things were carved. Now, history has been written down like this. Somebody has written it somewhere. Earlier it was written in the form of scriptures. Okay. Then it was in the form of pictures, depending on which place you are in. Now ancient Egypt have pictorial kind of representation. In other places, some other language was used, and that is the reason why we do not have a clear understanding of this subject. So Shaunak Rishi is asking Sutta Goswami, Sutta, can you please explain to us what happened when Sukhdev, who was the son of Vyasa Muni, he was telling these stories of Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit, how did it come about? And these are valid questions. Now, when I say valid questions, is it important for us to also ask valid questions? See, if you want your problems to be sorted out, like you have doubts in your mind, spirituality is a subject which is always doubted. The doubts come because we believe, we have faith. These two words, belief and faith, are something which cannot be understood in the normal world. That means in the mundane world, we do not have an understanding of the subject called faith or belief. What is faith? We don't have an understanding there. So if you look at a common person, that person will have no understanding of the subject. Why is it so? I will give you an example. Listen to this example. It's very important to listen to this example. Yesterday, my bell was rung by some people, some children. There were more than 20 children over there. From the age group of 4 till I think 14. Young boys and girls, children were there. Now these children came and rang my doorbell many times, and I went and I opened the door. And immediately they said trick or treat. Now trick or treat is a Western culture. Think about it. It's a Western culture, and the trick or treat is celebrated during this Halloween. I deliberately asked those children, what are they doing? Because they don't come for Dashera, they don't come for Diwali, they don't come for any of the Hindu festivals, and these are all Hindu children, by the way. These children came and they were all having those different masks, and they had spent, their parents must have spent a bomb to create this kind of an effect in the children. And I believe it's a playful thing, no doubt about it. And adopting a culture which is alien to India. It is so easy to adapt to the culture of this civilization where they don't even know how Halloween came into existence. But our scriptures are there. Our children are not even interested in dressing up for Diwali. They don't want to go to temple. They have no knowledge about any gods and goddesses and scriptures. You ask them about Bhagavad Gita, the same children will have no clue. I ask you a question. The 4-year-old to 14-year-old, if they don't have any knowledge, but they have knowledge from their schools and their children around them, they're celebrating Halloween. I ask you parents, who has taught them? Why is it that they didn't go for Dashera or Diwali or the Navaratri festival or Holi? They didn't come to my house for Holi. Nobody came to the ashram then. But these same children are coming for Halloween, and that too dressed like this. I am not saying you should not celebrate. Please understand this. We are celebrating New Year also. Are we not celebrating New Year? Do you know New Year, which is celebrated by the world over, whether it is British, American, South American, European, Asian, African, every country in the world is celebrating the New Year. 1st of January, isn't it? Ask these same Indonesians, ask these same Chinese people, or ask these Americans, what is the New Year, by the way? It was imposed upon you by the Roman civilization. The Roman civilization put it in your head that you have to celebrate 1st of January as the New Year. There are months in a year in English which are called July, August, September. Have you heard of these months? And they are named after Julius Caesar. July is named after Julius Caesar. August is named after Augustus. I ask you, any month is named under Krishna Dvaipayana, Vyasa Muni? No. So when I was explaining to one of my disciples, I was telling her, this year is Shake. What is Shake? A big question mark arose in the mind. What is Shake? I don't understand. Kartik Mas. What is Kartik Mas? Ask your children. Do they know what is Kartik Mas? Do they know what is a Shake? But do they know what is 1st of July? Do they know what is January, February, March, April? Even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they know very well. But the rest of it, knowledge is not given. The parents themselves don't know. The parents are idiots and they are trying to send their children to fancy schools where they learn about Halloween. I mean, I really don't understand. And then you are the same parent who is saying that why is this country being ruled by foreigners? Sir, you are making your children learn about Halloween and all the other festivals. You are doing it and you are blaming the government for not imposing anything. I am very sad to hear that. Why don't you celebrate your own festivals properly? Instead of celebrating some other festivals. See, please remember this. You can celebrate this as well as that. If you want to celebrate Parsi New Year, I will be happy. There are only 55,000 Parsis in India. That's it. But celebrating Parsi New Year is not a problem. Why don't you celebrate Parsi New Year? Ask yourself this question. The answer lies in the fact that parents themselves are educated in a field where they don't know anything about their own culture. So please educate yourself first. Knowledge is important. Our civilization predates any civilization, including the Christian one. Isn't it so? What is this Halloween? Who is this Jesus Christ? Who is this person called Santa Claus? Have they not come later? The same children will not come for Krishna Janmashtami. Okay? But for Halloween, they will go all over the town. Shame on you. Really, it's very shameful. It's terrible. Even the Americans who are celebrating Halloween have no clue why they are celebrating. Ask them why are they celebrating New Year? They will have no answer. They are following the system of Rome. In the Rome, there is one country inside Rome. Do you know? Rome has a country inside itself. This country is called Vatican. Now, Rome in ancient times was ruled by different kings, the kingdom around. When Julius Caesar was there, he started the Julian calendar. And the Julian calendar was wrong. Somewhere in the 17th century, one of the priests over there understood that this calendar is wrong, because he did not take that 1/4 of a day into account. So he had to add so many days. And suddenly, now just imagine, I don't know the exact dates, but just suddenly think about it, because he added so many dates in the calendar, because every year we are losing half a day, okay, quarter of a day, correct? So in every 4 days, one day was lost. In every 4 years, one day was lost. So he added all these days together, and suddenly one day, now think about it, if they were in January, suddenly it became July or August or something like that. My God, just think about it. Today we are in November, and I say, oh my God, I made a mistake, We will now change the date, and we will make it 1st of May. You will say, what? How can it be 1st of May? 1st of May is a summer. Is it summer or no? And suddenly from, say, 1st of November to 1st of May, how does that sound to you? So that was the very big problem which everybody faces. Nobody understands this. So we accept what is doled out to us without questioning it. Spirituality is a subject you got to question. Ask the questions. Ask yourself, why do I celebrate any day in the year? Why? What is the need for me? See, now they will celebrate somewhere in February also one day. Everybody will give hearts and roses and this and that. You know that, no? And then they will celebrate a day. Yeah, you're right, Jonathan. It is Celtic and pagan. But what can be done? We have accepted this. And after accepting this, we are not even questioning anybody about it. So we have to create a calendar which is based on certain information. And here in this scripture, what are they talking about? These Swamis, all these sages, no, they are not going to keep quiet. Who is a sage? A sage is a very smart person. Agreed? He is a very smart person and he wants to know the answer. So the sage is questioning the person who is telling him the story. I want to know all these things. How did this happen? As a spiritualist, your job is to question everything. If you don't question everything, then why are you in spiritual? So don't be in spiritual if you cannot question. And questioning is important in this world. Okay, that is why it is called spiritual quest. Quest. So the quest is important. To know about the self. Who is the self? I don't know. What is the self? So these people, all these sages who are sitting in front of this great master, the Shaunak Muni is the leader amongst them. People who want to question. So Shaunak Muni is asking him, can you please tell us, how do you know about this? And that is the reason why this particular chapter has come up. Now let us continue further. So, while we are doing Canto 1, Chapter 4, verse 5, okay? While Sri Vyasa was following his son, beautiful young damsels were bathing naked, covered their bodies with cloth. Although Sri Vyasa himself was not naked, but they had not done so when his son had passed. The sage inquired about this, and the young ladies replied that his son was purified, and when looking at them made no distinction between male and female, but the sage made such distinctions. Look at the way how this story is put. See, you should be grateful that Our past culture had no hang-ups about, bodies. We are so much interested in bodies. And we look at them as if, oh my God, this is like this. No. So here, the story goes like this, that Vyas Muni is a great sage, okay. Now this guy is going and walking along the road. So when he was walking on the road, there were a lot of beautiful girls, they are taking bath. They were taking bath in this river. See, now naturally that place nobody would be visiting at that point in time. See, there were places in a particular location which was not open for other people. Like if the women are going for bath in one place, men are not supposed to go. It's very simply understood. So where there are men, their women will not go. It was a common thing to understand. Like they had the baths. You see, even in ancient time, even Mohenjo-daro and Harappa had a very important place which is called the bath. You have heard about other baths also, right? Persian civilization also had. Every civilization has. So let us look at it from this point of view. So here Vyasdev is passing from there. And when Vyasdev is passing from there, what do all these young girls do? They go inside the water and some of them try to cover themselves up. Now Vyas Muni is looking at them and he gets very upset. He says, why are you doing like this? I am a sage, I am not going to look at you in that manner, very lustful manner. So the girls over there, they say something to him. Before Vyasdev went from there, Vyasdev's son passed from there. The son's name is Sukhdev. Sukhdev was passing from there. Now Sukhdev is an Avadhuta. Who is an Avadhuta? Yesterday only I explained to you, Avadhuta is a person who has no hang-ups about anything. He can be going naked on the streets also because he doesn't care. He has no consciousness of the body. There is no body consciousness. Have you seen some people who have lost their mind can be roaming around naked on the streets also? So think what is being said over here. A person with no mind. A person with no mind, which is focused on a subject, is free from all kinds of, attachments in this world. It doesn't matter to him. No mind status. So when Sukhdev passed from there, the girls never covered up. They were walking around oblivious to him. He was just passing by, and these young girls, they never said anything, they never did anything, they never ran for their clothes or doing anything for that matter. It was like a nudist beach, Everybody is roaming around nude. Doesn't matter. And Sukhdev passes, they are not covering up. Now Vyas Muni is asking this question, but when I came in front of you, everybody ran to take cover. Okay? You people are so biased. You think that I am going to look at you and do something. So the girls over there said something. They said, you know what? Vyasdevji, I'll tell you something. You have a mind. You are questioning us also. Your son just passed from here. He never even looked in our direction. And even if some girl passed in front of him, then nothing happened to him. He just walked away. By the way, please remember one thing. It is not that he was impotent or something like that. Okay, he never had to take a... No, it is that his mind never existed. In your life also, many a times your mind doesn't exist. Think about it. Suddenly you are meeting with an accident. Do you know you are literally walking like a zombie over there? You don't know what hit you, correct? You are literally, all your mind has gone away somewhere. You don't even know. In fear also, have you noticed, suddenly when, now let us say you have gone for a movie, a scream or something like that, and that person comes with a big knife behind, do you even think about it? No, you are not even thinking, because nothing appears. So there are people in this world, including yourself, where the mind doesn't appear any time. Even when you are driving, now you are a driver, okay, you are having a very fancy car and you are driving over there, and when you are driving over there, do you actually pay attention? You will find that everything is in autopilot, you know. You are driving, you are taking right turn, left turn, very naturally. That is because your mind is overtaken. It doesn't exist. So these girls are explaining to Vyasdev, you see, your son, when he passed, in his case, he was without his mind. And you are focused on us. Do you understand? And you are questioning us. The moment you question, doesn't it mean that you are focused on the subject? Very common thing to understand. The moment you say, oh, why did you cover up? Doesn't it tell you that your mind is acting over there? So this girl say to him, Vyas Muni, see, your mind came into existence and you are talking about it. So the next verse, verse 6. How was he recognized by the citizens when he entered the city of Hastinapura, after wandering in the province of Kuru and Jangala, appearing like a madman, dumb and retarded? How did it so happen? Next verse. That King Parikshit met this great sage, making it possible for this great transcendental essence of the Vedas to be sung to him. Yes, it's an interesting question how this whole thing started. We want to know. See, every story has, right? In a galaxy far, far away. Like that, something happened. So when we are talking like this, sages are asking this question to this Muni. Can you please explain to us? So this Vyasdev story is sorry if it's getting a little complicated. Now what are these Munis telling them? You see, the girls asked the relevant question. Why did your mind come into the picture? To whom? Vyasdev. And now the story proceeds further. Vyasdev's son, Sukhdev, that is Sukhdev, he was roaming on the streets. Actually, he is a free soul. So he can go wherever he feels like. See, when these free souls, when they go, they are not covering up. They are not saying, oh, it's cold now, it's hot now. They don't bother about anything because they are superseded their mind. So they can go anywhere. So one day he was walking through this palace, near Hastinapur. Hastinapur is the place where our story is beginning. So this is the place. So he was walking on the streets. Everybody is dressed over there except this guy. And he's roaming on the streets totally naked. So when he was roaming on the streets, everybody over there, see the verse when he says, how did the people recognize him? See, he was wandering all over the place. Kuru Desha. Kuru Desha is the place. Remember, we are doing a part of that Mahabharata thing also, correct? No? So the Kuru place, which is approximately somewhere in North India. So he was walking from there. And Jangala. Jangala means what? Forest. So he passed through forest, he passed through cities, and when he was passing through forest and the cities, people recognized him. But how did he appear to them? He appeared to them exactly like a madman. Okay? And here he was acting like a dumb person. And another word over here, retarded. If I say this word today in public, they will throw stones at me. I am not supposed to say this word. But here is a great sage who acted like a retarded person. Roaming around like this. He was digging all the trash over there and eating food from there also. He was roaming with the dogs, the stray dogs which are there, pariahs which are there on the streets. He will roam around with them. What they are eating, he can eat that as well. Can you do that today? They'll put you in a mental asylum if you do that, okay? Because you cannot be that person. So here, look at the scene. This man, Sukhdev, is walking from the road, and everybody can understand that he is a great sage. Because great sages, they have all their screws are loose. You understand? Please remember this. The great sage, if he is behaving, okay, Swamiji, very good, Swamiji, God bless you. This is all fakeology. Don't fall for all these things. Somebody who is doing this, and behaving like a normal person is an idiot. These sages are not like that. You may think there are screws in the brain. There are screws all over the body. All of them are loose. Loose. So understand this. How this works. And they act like a retarded person. So their way of behavior, the behavior in the world is very, very funny. They will eat anything, they will drink anything, whatever comes to their mouth they will say. They may sometimes keep quiet when you expect them to speak also. What is there? Nobody knows why they are doing this. Because they are sages. So how is it that King Parikshit was able to recognize him? And at what time? When Parikshit himself was cursed, isn't it? He was supposed to die. So, and how did he make this sage, Sukhdev, sing the entire Srimad Bhagavatam to him? He was accustomed to stay at the door of the householder not long enough for the cow to be milked, and he did just to sanctify the residence. So what did Sukhdev do? Sukhdev stayed over there till he finished the story. But Sukhdev is an Avduta. And Avduta's job is not to hang around in one place. You see, he may go to one house and he'll say, can you give me some milk or something like that? He'll just come to your house. Can I get a glass of milk? And suppose you say, just hold on, I want to see whether the cows can be milked just now. He will go away from there. It is nothing to do with whether he is insult or anything. There is nothing like that. Remember, he behaves like a madman. So he doesn't stay. He doesn't hang around over there. So Sukhdev came over there, met Parikshit, and he stayed the entire length of time to recite to him the Srimad Bhagavatam. By the way, Srimad Bhagavatam is 400,000 verses long. It is not one verse or two verses. What we are having as a scripture in front of us is just 1 millionth portion of it, a tiny portion of it. We don't have the entire text because it's got lost. So, it is said that Maharaj Parikshit is a great devotee of Sri Krishna, and that his birth and activities are wonderful. Please tell us about him. So here the sages are asking, all the sages who are sitting in front of, you remember the whole story now. Again, if I repeat the whole thing, you'll say, a broken record. So the sages are asking him, okay, can you please tell us about Parikshit? He was a great person. He was a devotee of God. Remember, he is the grandson, okay, and he is the king of the Kuru Empire. After the war, Mahabharat war, all the brothers, that were 5 brothers were there. What did they do? They took over the kingdom and they were ruling it. Yudhishthir became the emperor over there. Now Arjuna can't be an emperor, so Arjuna was given the charge of a commander-in-chief. He was told, go and look for more empires to conquer. So he went with expeditions. You understand what an expedition is? Genghis Khan, all these people, whatever Khans and all, they also went on expedition, isn't it? In the same manner, Arjuna went all over the place. He had a grandson. Now this grandson's story is there. But this grandson was a devotee of Lord. So here the Munis, the Rishi Munis, the sages are asking this question. Shaunak is the one who is asking to Sutta, can you please tell us about this son, this person, Parikshit? He was the greatest devotee of the Lord from his birth and his activities. Now, there are two things which are mentioned over here, birth and activities. You have to be born in a higher family. Why is it that you have to be born in a higher family? Think about it. If you are born as a commoner, can you become a king? No. So always understand one thing, where there is a hierarchy, to be born in the family itself is a very big thing. People say nepotism. Nepotism is a word thrown around for everybody. See, Kennedy is there. Okay. Now he may become one of the ministers or something like that in Trump's cabinet. We don't know about it. Similarly, we have Gandhi family over here. Indira Gandhi and this one, that one. And now today we have Rahul Gandhi also. Now you will say, why is that so? Well, they were born in the family. That's a privilege. Isn't it a privilege that if your father is working in a bank or a government institution, you also get the job if your father dies or something like that? Don't you get it? Yeah. Now it was there in olden times. Even today it is there. But those who come from outside will always keep on saying nepotism, nepotism, nepotism. There is no nepotism in this world. They are born as a privilege. So to be born in the family is a privilege. How does this privilege come to you? That is being mentioned over here. By the activities you do. So in this life, if you are going to do good activities, if you are a good person, what is your next life going to be? Something better only, no? Because you have whatever you sow is what you are going to reap. In this life you may not reap, but in next life at least you will reap something better, no? So if you are a mean person today, what is going to come to you in your next life? So there are people in this world, today morning only Rajma and I were talking, I said there are people in this world who don't even want to lift their finger and do any work around. And they keep on complaining, this is not done, that is not done, why is this happening, why is not that not happening? They keep on complaining all the time. If you are the divine Lord yourself, or if you are the one who is going to give justice, what are you going to make that person in next life? Naturally, you will make this person work like nobody's business, isn't it? Day and night you will make him work, isn't that so? Because in this life he is taking it very cool and easy and all that. And in this life, if you have become a rich man, next life what are you going to become? So think about it. This life, if there is a rich man, what was he in his last life? A poor man. Okay, so there is always the give and take in this world. We do not understand the power of karma. So by activities you can be that. So if you are good, kind, compassionate, loving, caring, this, that, all those things, naturally you will be born in a higher family and a higher kind of a womb. But today if you are a miserable person, you don't know your parents, you don't know your heritage, you don't know anything, where are you coming from then? I hope you get the point. You see, when my grandmother was there in front of Sai Baba of Shirdi, she went to meet him. And when she went to meet him, the question she asked him was, actually Baba asked her, what do you want? You know what is it that she said? Baba, I want you to be with me and my family for many, many generations. What did Baba say to her? Baba said to her, I will be with you till the second generation. That means your sons and your daughters and their grandchildren, I will be there in your family till then. After that, I will not be there. Very good. That is the blessing which he gave. So if the activities are good, even in your world, when you do something nice, are you not going to get benefit of it? It's natural, isn't it? So here, the birth and the activities have to be good so that you can be born in a better place. If you are going to be a person, now if this is something which was asked to me, and I gave the answer like this. Everybody is doing all these pujas, parts and everything. Everybody does it, okay? They will go around the, Vata Purnima, they will go around the tree, they will do all kinds of activities, everything they do. So when all these men and women are doing all these pujas, part and all that, what are they doing it? They are doing it with an intention of getting something. I want the same husband, I want money, I want this, I want that. Why will Sri Krishna look at them? Sri Krishna is the super boss. He is not even bothered about them. He will look at the department head of that place, Oh, who is handling that department? This woman has come and asked me for new husband, same husband next life also. Which department? Oh, husbandry department. That's a joke, okay? Animal husbandry department. Let us make him a bull and she a cow next life. That the fellow who is having absolutely no control over anything, or that God, that small deity, is now going to handle your case. No, nobody bigger than that is going to handle. Why will they handle your case? You're going and begging for money. Give me money, give me money, give me money. They will say, go to the finance department, come on. I want a holiday, I want to go on vacation. You can't go and ask a CEO for a vacation, can you? You have to go and ask your stupid boss. Boss, I want to go on a vacation. He'll say, there is so much of work lying over here, you can't go like this. He is going to talk like this. But if you are direct connect with the CEO or the super boss is Krishna, why do you have to bother? Krishna knows your mind. He says, okay, do one thing. Here are 2 tickets for Switzerland, go over there. Okay? Who is there? Who wants to go with him? Oh, Apsaras, all the Apsaras. Then I'll also go. So go. For that, it is not a problem. It's a privilege. Privilege. There's a difference. When you beg from God, it is not a privilege. You are a bhikari. You are a beggar. And when the God gives you, it's called a privilege. Privileges are given to all the big shots in this world, isn't it? You know this or you don't know this? They don't have to go and beg to the airline, hey, can you give me first class travel? No. Their seats itself are first class. Okay. They don't even have to bother about it. They are given the best treatment. But in the case of a common man or an average person, what is he going to be given? So this is how it is. So privileges, all these activities and births are important. So please remember, in this life of yours, be a good human being, be a kind person. And by the way, only talk to the super boss. Don't talk to in-between people. Those in-between people are not going to give you anything. And if they give you, they are going to take their pound of flesh. They'll say, okay, for this service, I'm going to send you my bill. Their bill will come, big one. Okay, this is the service I rendered. You go to Krishna, Krishna doesn't ask for a bill. What does he do? Krishna, I want to go on a holiday. You don't have to tell me. Actually, I was going there. Would you like to come with me? Oh, really? I'll also come. So you get that, like a freedom. So we have come to the end of verse 9. We will stop over here. Okay?
Recording stopped.